Hello from the Crown Point Library. This is Miss Cindy, and I am here today to share a book with you and a craft. So this book that I've chosen for today is called Elmer and the Butterfly. And I don't know if you knew this, but right now we're in the middle of summer reading, and our summer reading for this year is, our theme is Tales and Tales. So we've been doing all kinds of things with animals, and that is why I chose the book Elmer for you. So I have a special activity that we're gonna do to go along with it. So let me begin by reading this story, and then I'll show you our craft. So Elmer and the Butterfly, and there are several different Elmer books. So if you like Elmer, you can read all about him. But Elmer is this elephant. If you haven't read the first one, he is this elephant that has all these crazy colors. So he looks a lot different from a regular elephant. So Elmer and the Butterfly by David McKee, published by Anderson Press, USA. Elmer, the patchwork elephant, was out walking when a shout came from up a tree. "Hello, Elmer." "Is that you, Monkey?" Elmer called back. "No, it's me," laughed Cousin Wilbur from behind a bush. "Hello, Wilbur," chuckled Elmer. "You are clever with your voice tricks. I'm going for a walk. See you later." So notice Elmer's cousin Wilbur, he's a black and white checks. So he's also a little bit different. Not long after that, another voice called, "Help! Help!" Elmer smiled and said, "All right, Wilbur, come on out." The voice called again, "Help! I'm trapped." Elmer laughed. "Is that you, Wilbur?" But before he could finish, he saw that it was Butterfly, trapped in a hole behind a fallen branch. Do you see Butterfly on that page? Can you see Butterfly? You have to look really, really closely. And you can just barely make him out right there. "Poor Butterfly," said Elmer. He lifted the branch to release her. "Thank you, Elmer. The branch fell while I was in the hole," said Butterfly. "Perhaps one day I'll be able to help you." "Don't think about it, Butterfly," said Elmer. If you do need me, just call my name," said Butterfly. "Wherever I am, I shall hear you." A butterfly saving an elephant. Well, that's a good one, chuckled Elmer as he continued his walk. At that point, a narrow path led off of the main one. "I've never been here before," he said. "This looks interesting." The path suddenly led out of the trees and along a cliff, high above the valley below. "This is dangerous," said Elmer, "and the path goes to a cave. I'll go back. Oh dear, going backwards here isn't easy. I know, I'll go to the cave and then I'll turn around and walk back normally." Elmer was nearly there when the path started falling. He rushed into the cave and peeked out, but part of the path was gone. "Oh no, there's no way back," he said. "Help!" he shouted, but there was no answer. "Help!" Elmer called again, but still no answer. "They're all too far away," he thought. "I'll try Butterfly. Butterfly, help!" He was about to try again when Butterfly arrived. "Oh, Butterfly, thank goodness," said Elmer. "Now it's me who's trapped in a hole." "Don't worry, Elmer," said Butterfly. "I'll get help." Wilbur was amusing a group of elephants when Butterfly arrived. She quickly told them about Elmer, and in no time the elephants were rushing to the rescue. At the cliff top, the elephants saw how dangerous it was, and most kept away from the edge. Wilbur disappeared back among the trees. One or two elephants carefully peeked over the edge to try to spot Elmer. "I see his trunk," said one. Can you see his trunk? Way down here. Wilbur soon came hurrying back, pulling a very long, very strong vine. He threw one end over the edge of the cliff, and he called down, "Grab it, Elmer! Tie the vine around you and hold on tightly," said Butterfly. Don't worry, it will be all right. Elmer tied the vine and called out, I'm ready. The elephants grabbed the vine and pulled, and Elmer swung out from the cave and moved upwards. Once he was safe, Elmer thanked them all, especially Butterfly. Fancy a butterfly saving an elephant, he said. The elephants stared. Who else is there, said one. Just Wilbur's voice, laughed Elmer. Let's tickle him. But Wilbur was already running home. The end. So that is Elmer and the butterfly. Now I have a craft I want to show you. So if you stopped by the library and you got your bag, you found inside your bag, you found the picture of Elmer. There he is with some birds on his back. You can even add a butterfly to it if you wanted. And you have a Ziploc bag that has these little squares of tissue paper. Now this is very special tissue paper. This isn't just regular tissue paper that we've used to wrap gifts. This is called art tissue paper. It's like bleeding, which means that the colors will come out when it gets wet. So there's all different colors inside your bag. They're all squares, but you can tear them or cut them or use them however you want. But I'm going to show you how they work, because when you get these tissue paper squares wet, then something magic happens. Okay, so what you're going to need in order to do this is you're going to need a cup of water or some type of water. And I have a paintbrush, but you don't have to have a paintbrush. You can even use your finger if you want to. But what we want to do is we want to get our paper wet. We want to be careful that we don't make it too wet, right? Because, you know, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if paper gets too wet, it gets soggy and tears apart. Right now, I want to make sure that my fingers are dry, because if I use my fingers and did it like this and would dab in the water on there, then now my fingers are wet. So I want to dry out my fingers, make sure my fingers are dry, and then I'm going to take these pieces of tissue paper. Like I said, you can use them this way that they are, or you can tear them into squares, and I'm going to put them right on top of my Elmer. And you can decide how you want to do them. So you can decide how you want your colors. And you can make them so they fit inside the squares, or you can make your own shapes if you want. I'm going to add some blue, I think. And if you notice that your paper is getting dry, you're just going to add a little bit more water. I think I'm going to put this one over here. And I can even use my paintbrush and even like, see how this one wasn't quite wet all the way? I can do that too. So I want to make sure if I get color on it, I get it out. Do you notice what's happening? Can you see this? How when I did that blue and I added that little bit of water to it, how it's kind of spreading? That's because this is watercolor paper. And so the paper actually bleeds like watercolors. So let's do another one. Let's do a green over here. Let me add that square wasn't wet enough, so I need to add some more water. And look, have you ever painted with watercolors? You see how that works? Now notice where they touch each other, then the colors bleed together. So imagine, let's just do a little bit of science here. Science with our art. So what happens if we mix yellow right there and blue? What color do you get if you mix yellow and blue? Anybody know? See if you're right. Yellow and blue make green, right? So let's make our blue right here. And let's rinse it out a little bit because our yellow's lighter. Oh, you see how sometimes they move around because it was, put them right there, and let's see. Look where they meet up together. See what happens? You see it? There's green. And so yellow and blue together make green. We could do the same with, well, we have red here. What if we put the yellow up above it? Let's put some yellow up here. What do you get if you mix yellow and red? We get Orange. Add a little bit extra water and maybe that color will bleed up. I think our red's a little too dry. We can add a little red on this side. Oh, well, let's see. If we added red over here, what happens? So now I've got red. Red and green just makes brown. It's not very fun. But red and yellow makes orange. And red and blue, what does red and blue make? Purple. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to leave all those pieces on there. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what you do with it when it's dry. Okay? So I will be back. Okay, so I'm back. My picture is dry. I'm going to hold this up, but some of the pieces, so once it dries, you'll see that some of these pieces of tissue paper are going to want to kind of fall off, right? And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and pull them all off. So the tissue paper, once it's dry, we don't need it anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of those off. But there's my picture. So you can see how the watercolors, how they bled and how they left behind a watercolor picture. So you try this at home. Feel free to share your pictures on our Facebook page. And you can check out our website, crownpointlibrary.org, for more resources and information. And stop by the library and say hello. Take care and have a great day.